Hey guys, welcome back to Tower of Fantasy. In today's video, we're going to be talking summons, going through the whole summoning system so that when global hits, you understand what's going on. Now, with a lot of games, summons might change a little bit from like foreign versions to global. Yes, that might happen, but at least this will give you the basic understanding of what the different summons are, what they're giving you, what you can get from them, and what you can exchange the currencies for that you get while you summon as well. We'll try and cover everything that so that you have a really good understanding. Now, before we get into it, I do have to give my man Holiest a big shout out. I had a couple things that I was a little bit uncertain on, so I hit him up. He provided me with the extra info that I needed. He's an absolute legend, great bloke. Go check his channel out. I'll leave it linked in the description. But let's jump into summons. So when we look at summons, we have summons for weapons. And when you summon for a weapon and get a weapon, you will also get a simulacrum, which is a character tied to that weapon. And that character is like a skin. Now, with those skins, those characters, you can upgrade them with friendship or the bonding type thing. And you will unlock passives when you use that character. But the main thing you're summoning for is the weapon. That is the main effect. The character that you get with that weapon is basically a skin that you attach for looks, you know what I mean? That's what it is. So we have three types of summoning for weapons / character skins. We got black Nucleus here, which are actually purple, which is confusing. We have gold Nucleus, and then we also have red Nucleus. Now, the difference between them is that the black Nucleus, these are very common. Now, I'm going to show you guys a map. I'll leave a link to this website in the description. And the map is really, really good. It's an interactive map. And to get an idea of where you're going to get these things. So black Nucleus, you will get a lot of these exploring the world. You get 3 of them from doing your dailies and stuff like that. These will come in an abundance. And when you look at this map, you can highlight, this is just the first map, and you can see there is a lot of these around the world that you can collect. Now, when we go into the gold Nucleus, you're going to find them around the world as well. You also get one of them from your dailies, but they're not going to be as frequent. So when we click here, you can see that there's not as many gold Nucleus around the place because these are more premium. Now, we're going to jump back into the game, and now we're going to have a look at the rates. So when we look at these black Nucleus, their rates are going to be much lower. We got a 0.3% chance at obtaining an SSR with these, but like I said, you get heaps. Now, the thing I like about these black Nucleus, on top of that, there is no pity. The thing I like about it is in a lot of games, when you have these like throwaway summons that you get heaps of, normally you can only go up to getting the second tier of character. In this game, you can actually get an SSR. Yes, it's a very, very low chance, but you can actually do it. I've probably done about 1,000 of these, I'd say. I can't tell you exactly. But I have gotten 3 SSRs from these so far, which, in my opinion, isn't too bad. I did get one from my first 500, and then I got 2 very closely after that, and now I've had a bit of a dry spell. But the fact that you have a chance of getting them is really nice. However, with the available characters on this one, it is, no, that's the wrong bit. This bit, it's always going to be, by the look of it on the CN version, just the starting characters that the game launches with. On the CN version, they haven't added any other characters to these yet. So maybe they will eventually, but at the moment they still have not. So then we jump into the gold Nucleus. Now, like I said, these you're going to find around the map. You're going to get them from dailies and stuff like that. They're not as common, but they're still pretty common. Now, this does have a pity, and it also has a 0.75% drop chance. Now, the cool thing with this is if I was to summon a SSR on my next pull, on my 51st pull, I would not reset the 80 pity. It would be 51, you get an SSR, say then 78, I get an SSR, I would still get an SSR 80. So it's a really good pity system. On top of that, on the CN version, you do have at 30 summons, you've got a pity, so you're guaranteed to get an SSR after your first ever 30 summons. And then the cool thing with that is it still doesn't reset. So by the time you get to 80 summons, you're guaranteed at least 2 SSRs, which is really nice. Then after that, you just keep up your 80 pity. Now with these ones, characters will eventually be added, specific characters, to this banner after their, exclusive banners period is done. So as you can see here, we got Claudia and Cobalt B, which have been added to this banner. And, hopefully along the way, all the other characters will be added, but there is suspicion like collab characters and stuff like that will not be added to this banner. So we'll talk about that in the specific unit banner. But this one overall, it's got higher rates, over double the rate at 0.75 as opposed to the 0.3% in the black nucleus. And we do have the 80 pity, and the pity doesn't reset, and you've got that 30 pity as like your beginner pity as well. So these summons really, really solid, limited on the characters. You're not going to get the newest characters from these. The other thing on top of that with these ones is this token up the top here. So when you summon on this banner, you will get one of these tokens. Now these tokens you can use in the shop to buy duplicates of your weapons that you already have, which is really nice. To be able to purchase duplicates of the weapons from this shop though, they have to be available on this banner. So for instance, a good example of this is on the CN version, the last available character was Lynn from the exclusive banners, which we'll talk about exclusive banners in a second, but she's got this fan. Now, if I want to go ahead and get her from that shop, I'm not going to be able to, because you can see the fan is not here. The reason being, she has not been added to that roster of units that you can pull from the gold nucleus, which means her weapon is also not going to be available from this store. So keep that in mind. Now, we're going to go back into the summons, and now we're going to take a look at this one here, which is the exclusive character summons. Now this one is Lyra. The cool thing about this one is it shares the same idea that you've got the 80 pity. There is no 30, guaranteed for beginners and stuff like that. This one is just 80 pity. If you get one before then, it doesn't reset. Cool beans. Now on top of that, when you do get to the 80 pity, or whenever you proc an SSR on this one, you have a 50% chance of it being the select character. Now, I know people get tilted by 50% chances at pity. However, as you're summoning with these, once again, the same thing. Every time you summon, you'll be getting one of these. Also, when you get SRs that you've already got the max amount of copies that you need, you will get an additional one of these. You can see that I've done 32. One of these summons was in the previous banner as well. So the pity on these banners carry over. So if Lyra finishes and I'm still at 32, the next exclusive character comes in, I will still be at 32 on the pity, which is really, really nice. So for instance, if I summoned 30 times and pulled Lyra, I could leave that and then get her on get the next exclusive character if I wanted. But back to the 50 pity thing. Now you get these, so you get one for each summon, plus you're going to get an extra one for SRs, but basically you just count it as one for each summon. If we go to the shop here, you can see that we have Lyra's weapon here at 120. So if you do 120 summons, you will have 120 of this currency, and you will be able to straight out buy that character. So there's a soft 50-50 pity at 80, but then there is the hard pity where once you get to 120 summons, you can just straight up get that weapon. So yes, it sucks that it's a 50-50 at the 80, but at least if you go 40 more than that, you can guarantee yourself a copy of the weapon, which is really quite nice in my opinion. So that is an important one, that you can go ahead and you can get this weapon at 120. That is the hard pity. Now, the catch with these is that, like I said, these weapons you can't buy from the other shop with the yellow ones that you get from spending gold nucleus. Now, at the end of this banner, when this banner is over, all of these red tokens that I have will be converted into yellow tokens, and then the new character on the exclusive banner will have a new shop, and you'll have to summon for them to go ahead and get these. So keep that in mind. These at the end of this banner will convert into the yellow ones and will no longer be usable over here. So like I can't summon for Lyra, build up the red ones, and then like maybe I do 80 summons for Lyra and get her. I can't hold on to 80 of these things and wait for the next banner, then do 40 pulls and buy that weapon. They change them to yellow at the end of the banner, and then you've got to go again, go to 120 on the new banner. Now, these are the red nuclei. These are very rare. I didn't see anything in 1.0 that was giving you these. In 2.0, you start getting missions and logins and stuff like that. These are mainly going to be bought, but these are going to be the main thing that you want to spend your premium currency, which is your black cubes, on. You can buy them from the shop. They are the same cost. If we go to the shop here, They are going to be the same cost as a gold nucleus, and basically these are the only ones you really want to buy. Keeping in mind the gold nucleus, those characters, they're more common, they're easier to get. You can get their dupes by using the things that you get just from getting gold nucleus, so you don't want to be buying these. You want to be buying these ones. They're the same cost, and these are going to be how you get, you know, your access to exclusive characters. So keep in mind, you want to be saving all your premium currency to buy these from here. And this is going to be your main source of obtaining the red nucleus to be able to get limited characters when they come out on their specific banners. Now, past that, that pretty much covers the character summons and the way we're going to summon characters. Recap, we got the black nucleus, which have 0.3% drop rate, no pity. Gold nucleus, 0.75% drop rate and 80 pity. And then we got these limited ones, which I didn't even show the rates, but it's the same thing. You got 0.75% and the 80 pity. And at 120, you can buy the weapon straight out with this currency. Now we jump into the secondary type of summon, which is going to be these chips. I think they call them matrices. I like calling them chips, but you know what these are essentially is gear that you attach to your weapons. Your weapons are going to have 4 gear slots on them, and you put these on. If you have, say, some of them say you need 3 of this set and you get this effect. Some of them have 2 effects and 4 effects. So if you have 2, you get this effect. You have 4, you get this effect. These work fairly similarly. They have a 40 pity and a 1.7% drop rate. So that's the way these work. You're not going to summon, you're not going to want to spend for these summons. It's more you just get them along the way and then you will use them. You don't get a hell of a lot. As you can see, I've done 20 summons so far. I've got 6 more available to me. And then over here on the exclusive ones, these are going to be for the, you know, the exclusive character. When they come out, they will get their chipsets. And it's the same sort of thing. You're going to have a chance, a rate up of 50% on these. And then you can get those chips. These are more of a whale thing, in my opinion, and whales would go after these. Keeping in mind, all the chips from this banner you will be able to obtain from doing, you know, different content inside the game that you can do with stamina and stuff like that. So they will be obtainable, not as important to summon for. I believe there will be like certain cases in the future where you may want to summon for some of these exclusive ones on the banners, but that is something more nuanced that we'll talk about later in the future, because maybe the set effect is something that's really going to impact your gameplay. But for now, what you really want to focus on is the character summons. Basically, you get a shitload of these, summon them, you get a fair amount of these, summon them, you get jack shit of these, so you want to spend your premium currency on them and hopefully get some new characters. So hopefully that explains it. Now, also on top of that, I'm quickly going to touch on dupes. So you can summon, you can get use out of 7 copies of a character. As you can see here, my one here has 3 stars on my pistols. You can go up to 6 stars. So you get 1 base copy, then you get up to 6 stars on them. People often refer to it as constellations in Play Genshin. I'm not big into it, but you know, that's what you can call it. But as you get up stars, you're going to get extra passives, which you can't obviously read here, but you're going to get additional passives on your character, on your weapon that affect its performance. Different weapons, some weapons, you know, 1 star, they're like, that's all you need. That's the key thing. Some weapons, for instance, Crow, you really want 6 star for him to be working the way that he wants to work. But you know, every weapon you can get up to 6 stars on. So that is what you can use your dupes for. And normally for the basic weapons that you get at the start, you're going to get most of your dupes through the gold nucleus, the black nucleus, and then just the shop from obtaining them along the way. And for the more exclusive weapons like this one, you're really going to have to get your dupes during that banner or wait until the character hopefully goes on to the gold nucleus banner. So I know there was a lot in that one. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense on what happens, how you obtain things and all that. It's a very complex summon system when you first jump into it, but then it starts to make much more sense once you start getting used to it. But hopefully it's something similar to this at Global, because I think this is a fairly decent summon system. It does have its flaws in my opinion, but I am going to go into a whole video on itself talking about my concerns for the global release of the game and some of the issues that I do have with the game, because, you know, we like to be objective here as well. But for now, this video has gone on for well and truly long enough. So that is going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.